What's up YouTube, Trollkin here, welcome back to Draw Phase, and in today's video, we're going over some new legends that were revealed coming out in Spiritforged. I literally, found out about this maybe 20 minutes ago, hopped on the computer, pressed record. I barely had a chance to take a look at them. I'll make an in-depth video of what I think about the legends, but you and me, we're just going to take a look at these real quick. And see how they really are. I'm pretty excited, so let's get straight to it. So I saw it on the Riftbound website, and I'm over at Piltover. And it seems like Rumble is the one that got released in Chinese, or leaked rather. So let's take a look at it, because I just wanted to make sure about the translations, and it seems like it's okay. Seems pretty accurate. So Rumble Mechanized Menace. Your mechs have shield. Huh. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, sure. So here's the thing. We're gonna need to look at the rest of the kit. Honestly, um, if it seems like this deck has to go wide in order for this legend to be good, right? Uh, so shield is different. A lot of people are saying it's like Master Yi. I disagree wholeheartedly because Master Yi obviously only targets one unit, whereas in this has the benefit of where you can actually go wide. So it depends if there's some death knell abilities where it creates a lot of mechs or token mechs. We're just gonna have to see the kit and the champion unit. Maybe if the champion unit is something where when I attack, it's kind of like Noxian Drummer. You create a one might mech, or when you defend, you can create a one might mech instead of an attack trigger. That would be really cool. But other than that, we have no signature spell, we have no chosen champion. So we're just gonna have to wait on this and see how good this actually gets. Right? It's kind of just um, it is what it is at face value, right? There's nothing we don't know what this archetype is gonna have for us in the future. So, but at first glance, pretty underwhelming just because we don't know any of the other cards. But obviously, when all the stuff comes out, I'll make more in-depth videos about every legend and how they're gonna look like. We do have a new legend that wasn't leaked earlier today in Lucian Purifier. Okay, so Body Fury. Alrighty, cool colors. I thought Ornn was actually going to be Body and Fury, but this works as well. Your equipment each give assault +1. Okay, all right. So we can actually theorize about this a little bit. So we do have where is it? Where is he? We do have the Lucian, the chosen champion, where it does have Weapon Master, and it can equip basically for a power less. And for instance, you have something with the Trinity Force. So instead of 2 might, it'll have assault +1. Okay, that's a lot of stuff stacking up on each other. Not bad, actually. Your equipment each give assault +1, and that stacks as well. Okay, so heavy equipment stuff then. It has to be. In order for this legend to be quite viable, right? There's got to be not only a fair amount of equipment cards, but good ones at that, right? Or cheap ones. I feel like when it comes to equipments, obviously we have ones like Trinity Force right now, right? That have a really strong ability, and when I hold, score 1 point, and it gives +2 attack. And it works well with the chosen champion because of Weapon Master, which means you can just attach it for free, or not for free, but a power less, right? So when it comes to this legend, I think for it to really pop off, we're gonna have to see a lot of cheap equipment, right? And a lot of units with Weapon Master, right? I think that's gonna be really relevant, and because when we look at the Azir legend, the tokens that it generates also has Weapon Master. So in order for this to work, I feel like this is going to be an aggressive deck, right? Where you're stacking a lot of equipment onto units with Weapon Master. So not only do you have a power less to pay, right? So it just kind of accelerates and snowballs. So that's the feel I'm getting from Lucian, the legend. We'll see, obviously, with only a couple cards that we have now. But it shows them the most promise to be a really cool equipment based legend. So I'm pretty stoked about Lucian. Really, really neat. And it's nice to see that we have a chosen champion and a Trinity Force. So we can actually build around this so far, I believe. Although we don't. Well, yeah, we have longsword. So I might be doing like a video on Tabletop Simulator because we actually test out this legend right now. So that's pretty cool. And furthermore, all right, cool. So we got the crazy stuff right now. All right, cool. I'm so stoked about this. Okay, so Rek'Sai Void Burrower. Okay, so we have Fury Order, red and yellow. When you conquer, you may exhaust me to reveal the top two cards of your main deck. You may play one, then recycle the. Oh, that's so good. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. So obviously no chosen champion, but just from at first glance, like reading at that, the fact. All right, so think about it this way, guys. Like we think Stack Deck is so strong right now because you can look at the top three cards and just pick one and put it into your hand. This, when you conquer, you can just look at the top two cards of your hand. So basically, Candlelit Sanctum, and instead of just putting it to your hand, and if you have the runes for it, you can play it, and then you recycle the rest. So what if you don't play it? Do you just recycle it? You don't draw it. Okay. So you kind of have to like play it out. Okay, so this has to be in a situation where you're going to be conquering, right? So like with this legend and the way you're going to have to play it is that before you actually play other cards, you're going to have to try to conquer a battlefield. So a little aggressive, right? And then if you do, you just get that benefit of just like looking at the top two cards of your main deck and then playing something. So only because like you kind of like want to make sure you have enough runes to play it. Because if you don't, then you have to recycle it. Then recycle the rest. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. You may exhaust me to reveal the top two cards of your main deck. You may play one. Yep, and then if you don't, you have to recycle it. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. Awesome. Not bad. Yeah, that's really good. No, that's really good. Dude, listen, anything with looking and choosing things from the top of your deck, not only in this case with this legend, you get to play it. Obviously, like I'm saying over and over again, we have to see the chosen champion, we have to see the kit, we have to see the new units to kind of see how it works in the future. And how the synergy develops with these colors and the new cards. Right now, with red and yellow, like if I were just to throw this in with what we have now, it would be still pretty aggressive. Like think about it. Like you can still run baited hook in this, right? And when you're conquering with things, you can just play more. Yeah, dude, this is gonna be like super aggressive, right? Where you're just like spitting stuff out from your deck and from your hand, really super fast. So pretty cool. Very excited to see the chosen champion. Can't wait for that. Moving right along because we got a couple more things to go after. New green and blue common mind runes. All right, Ari, you are no longer alone. So we have Ornn, Fire Below the Mountain. Reaction, add a power, use only to play gear or use gears of build. Yes! Yes! Eat it, Kaisa. Eat it. Oh, dude. All right. So this legend just kind of showed me that obviously, it's called Spiritforged. There's going to be a lot of equipments. If equipments are super strong, oh, all right. If there are a lot of good green and blue equipments, this just from what we know with Kaisa, because you can tap Kaisa to play spells, right? And it's super to add a power to play only four spells. The fact they can use this to play gear or use gear abilities, amazing. Which means generally equip. So basically, you can tap this for the equip cost because the equip is the gear ability, right? So if you're looking at Trinity Force, right, the ability is like an equip, right? So you can use it to equip. Oh, that's so good. And the other cool thing that this kind of spoils is that gears will have abilities as well, or equipments will have abilities as well. Um, Maybe like cost abilities, or is it just specifically talking about the equip cost? So that's really good, dude. If there's like a heavy equipment deck right now, or coming out in the future, that's gonna be really good. It makes things like Steric's Gauge actually a lot better, right? Because I always thought it was a heavy cost for only 3 might. It is quick draw, right? So when you play it, it attaches. But if something dies with it, right, then you can kind of just for free with Ornn, right? You can just tap Ornn and equip it to something. Just give something +3 perpetually. Super strong. So obviously we have to look at the chosen champion. We have to look at all the other gears coming out. But from the we don't have any blue gears right now. But from the green gears like this, just cost 1, and you can give something tank by tapping Ornn. Um, Guardian also you can just pay 2 and sorry guys, I'm like nerding out right now. I'm just like so excited about these cards. Yeah, so something like Guardian Angel becomes really cool. Um, because only for 2 and and then you tap your Ornn, right? You tap Ornn and you just equip it to a unit. That's really cheap instead of like running seals and like relying on gold, right? So I feel like um maybe green and blue won't get so much gold. Or like in that specific color combination, so much gold generating abilities or cards. That could be. Also, with Spellslinger, okay, so you still have to pay the 1 energy, but still the equipment is cool. Yeah, I think Ornn is going to be a strong legend. Those are my colors, honestly. Like, I'm an Ari player, right? So green and blue are right up my alley. I'm super stoked that Ornn is green and blue. It's such a strong legend ability, in my opinion, just because it's going to be equipment and gear centric, right? So I can only predict, like, just because like what we saw with Kaisa and set in Origins, right? The fact that that reaction adding power for anything is really good. Even Darius, but like Darius is very reliant on baited hook. However, like super stoked, cool, awesome, love it. Like really excited to play Ornn. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, if gears are really good, I'm probably gonna just main Ornn and just not even look at the other cards. But I'm just kidding. So we have a new green and orange in Jax Grandmaster at Arms. Well, I didn't actually know Jax was actually becoming a legend. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's take a look at it. Description: for 1 energy, tap attach a detached equipment you control to a unit you control. Okay, so that's very similar to like, you know, subjecting the cost of like Timo, right? Instead of paying the power, whereas here you're paying the power to attach an equipment. Here you could just use the energy to attach equipment. And then the second ability is attach an attached equipment you control to a unit you control. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's really good. So you can choose either or. So if a equipment is just chilling at your base, right, from a unit that has died before, you can actually just pay the 1 energy to attach it, right? Or you can switch the equipment onto another. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's pretty dope. So for things like this, you can float this around on units, right? On certain units' abilities. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, I have a feeling that Jax is going to be really good because you got things like Trinity Force, right? Where if it's on a unit that had to go back to base or something, or that has died, right, and this is chilling at your base, instead of committing that power, you can just tap it to move it onto a unit that is on your battlefield already instead of like wasting that power, right? You just use your legend ability, or you can just switch it, right? So, like for instance, if I don't know, Lucian is just chilling onto a at your base, right? Or you have it at a battlefield. You can switch it out, have the hold aria on, right? Put this on it, switch it back and forth. Yeah. So there's like a lot of crazy things that you can do with this. I'm gonna have to see a lot more equipment. Obviously, the color combinations are already good because you can actually put Ari in this, and then you can move it around. Yeah, I think this is gonna be the legend for the hold Ari and Svelsinger combination because they're both in green. And with orange, you also have the Trinity Force, and when I hold, you can score an extra point. So I think this deck is going to be very centric on just like scoring a lot of points as fast as possible and moving around your equipment. So, but really cool legend ability, honestly. The fact that like they took the time to consider like, okay, so you can pay an energy to detach equipment you control to a unit you control, or no, sorry, attach a detached equipment you control to a unit that you control. So one that's chilling at your base, and you can like kind of your units can like toss the equipment to each other, which is pretty cool. I like it. Color combinations and strong. Remember, all the cards from Origins will obviously be in the set. So we're talking about, oh God, we're talking about uh, Dead Bloom Predator coming out, and then you can attach equipment to it right away. That's disgusting. White Flame Protector, yeah, Master Yi, the Ready Yi, can also be played to a base from your hand now, obviously because it's not going to be chosen champion anymore. That is a pretty strong ability. And judging by Orn and Jax, right? Like that's just gonna be. I can tell there's gonna be tons of equipments. Probably some like not so great, and some like really really amazing. But pretty stoked about Jax. Interesting color combination for equipments and stuff. I think this is what people are gonna be generally playing. Like I don't know. Lucien will probably be with Lucien, obviously, but you can like put Lucien in here because he is orange. But like obviously like Ari and Svolsinger, like the hold is really good because you can just kind of like move around the equipment without attaching it to the unit, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not at reaction speed, so that's actually really safe. Moving quite along, Blade Dancer, we got Emperor of the Sands, we already know about. Ezreal. Now, I saw the leak of this. This is just really weird, guys. Like, yes, okay, so Ezreal Prodigal Explorer. Hopefully the translation was a little off because I didn't really didn't really like what I was reading. It is a reaction speed, so that's strong. Draw one, but use only if you've chosen enemy units and or gear twice this turn with spells or unit abilities. So, like, yeah, drawing cards are good, you know. So what, like, so it's like a spell slinger deck. So I'm just like honestly, I'm just like critically thinking about the cards that we have now in blue and purple, right? So like obviously like fight or flight comes to mind because that targets like enemy units, stupefy, smokescreen, things like that. And if you and or gear, so gear removal. Okay, but it's only enemy units and or gear. You've chosen enemy units and or gear. So I'm curious if it's like I'm curious if you can actually just like target your own gear because it says and or, right? Enemy units and enemy gear units or enemy units or gear. Twice this turn with spells or unit abilities, draw one. So like obviously card draw is really good. The issue is like in blue and purple, there isn't really anything that we can ready stuff with yet. Whereas, like, Orange Misfortune, when it moves, it could ready anything. I wonder if that's going to be a thing, right? Like, I feel like they have to in order to, like, make it combo really well. Because if you could, like, perpetually tap this maybe, like, twice in one turn, that'd be really good. The fact that you have to choose it up to twice, I guess that's them trying to balance the card, right? Because like honestly, yeah, it's like it's too balanced though, right? Like it's too nerfed because I wish they would have just honestly all in all maybe choose a different ability that had to do with card draw. Because let's be real, guys. Like if you were to only choose an enemy unit once, and then you could just tap and draw one, this card would be absolutely busted, dude. Absolutely broken, right? So the fact they had to do it twice is like a good thing. So it's not like super overpowered, but it's kind of like too balanced now in the indication. Now, obviously, I'm just speaking with what the cards we have in Origins. If in this set, for some reason, there is a bunch of like cheap, like one cost or two energy cost spells that target down, then sure, then Ezreal is going to be really, really good. There was like a comment on X or something like he's seen a lot of the cards already. Didn't want to leak anything, but he said like watch out for Ezreal. He's gonna be really ridiculous. So hopefully, in the set we will see like a lot of cheap target unit spell cards. And if that's the case, then this card will be really good. It's just I'm just thinking like obviously right now what we have in Origins, and it's just so limited that I can't see it being good. But who knows? Who knows? but honestly, like I'm glad I'm like second guess myself because like honestly, if it was only targeting one thing, this card would be absolutely busted. But so again, have to see the chosen champion, have to see the kit that it comes along with it, the signature spell. But pretty cool. Stoked to see Ezreal in the game. And I think like any type of reaction legend ability is super strong. Like Darius is super strong. Kaisa obviously is super strong. Like I'm just looking at this right now. Ornn, I can already tell is super strong. And yeah, pretty stoked about that. Now, I think the one that is a little underwhelming is the new legend in Fiora. And let me see if they got the translation right because I saw this earlier today. When one of your units becomes mighty, you may exhaust me to channel one rune. Exhaust a unit is mighty while it has +5. Yeah. So like the issue with this card, I think they did they did Fiora a little dirty, honestly. Mainly because in order for things to become mighty, obviously you can't just play it from hand. Like a lot of people are thinking set brawler, right? But when it is played, it gets played with +1 counter. So technically, I believe it doesn't become mighty. It's just a 5 might unit with a buff, or it just has a buff on it, right? Now this synergizes well with like the Origins Fiora, the yellow Fiora, because like you get a lot of benefits from adding the +1 onto it. So obviously the ganking, the deflect, and the shield. Um, it's a very similar effect to um, Volibear. I'm sorry, it's just left my mind. Volibear, but like Volibear's in hindsight is actually better because when you just play a mighty unit, you channel a rune exhausted. However, if there are ways to ready this, then that's pretty cool, right? So that's going to be the issue. Like if there's any way to ready the legend other than the one misfortune card we have now. I feel like the new chosen champion, it should be an orange Fiora, might have something to do with that, so you can ramp up really good. The color combination is really good too. Like set is very strong, right? So anything with body and order is going to be good. You can probably build this in any type of mid range to uh, to late game. You can even make it like a little bit aggressive. But again, like the legend ability is just kind of lacking if you can't ready it, right? So if it's stuck, you can probably do this like you can do it then just like once a turn. But like honestly, like ramping runes is like really strong. We see that with Catalyst of Aeons and Mobilize. Like the Roar decks are just running rampant right now, and I think they probably just wanted to balance it a little out. Um, I wish they kind of like did something different, right? Because they're kind of just like stealing something from Volibear, right? So basically, this has to be like buff centric, right? So you need like arena bar or something in this deck, unless there's like new ways to buff and like pit rookies and stuff, which is fine. But then you're gonna have to have a deck full of like 4 might units. Yes, there are things like Call to Glory and Primal Strength, right? Give +7 from Primal Strength and Call to Glory. You spend a buff to give it +3. So if in those instances, like they become more than 5 might, then they become mighty, and then you can channel Rune Exhausted. Of course, right? There are many ways to make your units mighty, but you know, ideally, like it's just like that one buff from 4 to 5 is probably your best bet because, like, honestly, with Call to Glory, although strong, you do have to pay you have to use your buff to pump it, right? And then it just goes back down to the 4 might or 3 might or whatever might it is without the buff. And then with Primal Strength, it does cost 4 and a power, right? And then you're just channeling one root exhausted. So if there are other ways to like buff your units in orange and yellow with the new set, then cool. Then you can channel rune pretty much every single turn. But probably won't go online maybe to like turn 2 or 3, honestly. So makes it a little weak in the sense that you can do things with like Ornn, right? I'm just gonna talk about Ornn because I absolutely love this legend. So like you can like as soon as turn 1, right? If you're going second, you can play this, attach it to a Poro for free. Like that's just like your legend is already like online, right? You can even put this on the plundering Poro, right? This I'm already thinking. So like for instance, like if you're going second, right? You play plundering Poro. and then you pay your extra energy for the Doran shield, right? Then you just tap your legend, and you just have like a 3 might unit your first turn. Like that's really good with the effect of conquering, and you can create a gold gear. Exhausted, and your Pora also now has is a 3 might unit, and it has tank. So cool, like that. I feel like that's miles better than something that you have to wait to get online. But again, like I said, I'm gonna make another video about the singular legends as the cards come out and kind of explore their archetype. But out of all, honestly, the legends, I'm gonna have to give it to my boy Orn. Like I'm super super stoked about this. This legend just seems absolutely crazy. This set is centric on equipment and gears. So I can only imagine how cool this is going to be. My mind is like running a marathon right now. I'm going to take a couple of minutes to kind of try and process all the information and kind of like develop some combos and think about some future video ideas. But so guys, thank you. This is just like really like running to the computer, turning it on, and just talking about with what I see for the first time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.